Look at this. Michelangelo spent years on it. Years chiseling one block of marble until it basically looked perfect. Not because anyone made him, but because he actually believed that getting every little detail, like the shoulders and the veins on his arm, exactly right. For him it mattered. It was like his life depended on it. And somewhere along the way, we as a society decided that this kind of effort is not worth it anymore. And I don't think that that is the right approach. So I think it's time that somebody finally talked about it. And that's what this video is about. Why I think that it is necessary to start a new renaissance, and also why I think our generation will be the one to do it. So let's talk about the underlying problem. I think that the culture that is being sold to us is really empty. Like there's nothing behind it. It's just stuff that isn't trying to say anything. It isn't trying to move you. And it just tries to be interesting enough so that you will look at it and then scroll onwards. And this is also something that our generation didn't choose. We were taught that caring for something beautiful, something that is really high quality and good, that caring for something like that is cringe. And it is more safe to be like ironic about it, because people think that, they'll get clowned on, people will make fun of them for truly liking something with their hearts. And if you're making fun of people for not acting nonchalant all the time, not gonna lie, I think you're just a pussy that's scared of actually trying. So yeah, that's also why they'll never reach anything in their lives and they'll never create something truly beautiful. And I don't think that it's naive to want to be beautiful or to wanting to create something beautiful. I think it might be one of the most honest things you can want, because I think if you're born, anywhere in the world, it doesn't matter, there is certain beauty that is acknowledged by everybody and that is universal, and that's why I don't think that it's all that subjective. I think it's a lot more objective than people might like to admit. So for example, in Greece, they had this whole idea of arete or something like that. I don't really speak Greek. And it basically means excellence, like not good enough, not it's fine. It's the idea that a body, a poem, a column holding a roof, or anything really could be pushed all the way towards its ideal version. And chasing that ideal was basically the whole point of your life. And then afterwards the Romans took the idea and turned it into a great empire. And finally the Christians came and they added, in my opinion, the most important aspect to this whole idea of beauty and art. Because the Christians took the idea of chasing excellence and gave it a reason beyond just self-fulfillment. Because they thought, if beauty is real, if it's not just personal taste, then where is it coming from? And the answer the Bible gives is that it is from God, and that God is the original artist, the great creator. Every sunset, every human face, every proportion, everything that makes a statue look alive instead of just accurate, that's his fingerprints. And when we make something beautiful, we're not just inventing beauty from nothing. I think we're reflecting something that already exists and that was created by God to then afterwards be turned into something beautiful by us. That's why they built huge cathedrals and other huge buildings, not to impress your neighbor, to flex on them, but as an offering to worship God, to show God that you care and that you are devout. Excellence and something backing that up. Put those things together and you don't just get pretty buildings, you get the Renaissance. Painters who were basically obsessed with the human body, architects who thought a ceiling could argue for the existence of God. Because to them it did. It wasn't just like a building, it was proof that with the support of God they could create these logic-defying buildings. So I think this kind of motivation still exists today. We just have to stop pretending that we don't want it. We have to stop pretending that it's cringe. We have to stop pretending that we'll get judged for it. And now this is the part I do feel the strongest about, not gonna lie. Look at that body. That wasn't great for vanity, it was a whole statement. The body trained and disciplined as basically a visible readout of what's going on inside someone. it shows their endurance and their ambitions. And here's exactly where I want to take it further than the average person, because I believe that God is the original artist, the best there's ever been. So then your body isn't just your project, it's his material. You didn't design the proportions, the symmetry, the way it's built to move and grow and adapt. You inherited a masterpiece in progress, and I think what you do with it afterwards is basically a response to the artist who made it. Meaning you have the obligation towards God to make the best of your body. So think about it this way. When someone takes care of their body they were given, they train, they eat right, they push towards failure, that isn't vanity. That's not even self-improvement, that's stewardship. Basically saying thank you with your actions instead of your words. So building a healthy, capable body is one of the most direct ways a normal person gets to participate in God's own work of making beautiful things. And here's my actual opinion, and I know it's a strong one. I think we live in a culture that's gotten way too comfortable telling people that taking care of themselves doesn't even matter, and that discipline is optional, that however you're living is automatically fine, no questions asked, and if you say otherwise, you're the bad guy. With that I mean movements like the body positivity and fat shaming. And I think it's bullshit. I think the message has done some real damage, and honestly I think it's a little bit of an insult towards God who made you in the first place, treating something built with that much intention like it doesn't even matter what you do with it. Your body's literally the only piece of art you get to actively shape every day. Every workout, every meal, and every morning you actually get up for. That's you co-creating with the same artist who made the fucking sunrise. It's not shallow, it's not vanity. Worship basically, just wearing gym clothes in a modern style. And no matter where you are right now in your life, you have to start. And I know starting is the hardest part, I've been there. And I'm saying it because we got sold a lie that trying doesn't matter, that standards are somehow unfair, and that lie is literally just the nihilism from earlier in this video, wearing a different outfit. Discipline isn't the enemy here. It's kind of the whole point, and it's got a purpose way bigger than just looking good. It forms your entire personality and of course your entire life. And so now we come to the conclusion. A new renaissance doesn't mean we're going back LARPing like it's the 1500s. We don't need to recreate the past, we don't need to steal its shit. We just need to recreate its energy and its reason and build something new with it. And here's why I think that it's going to be us specifically who will create this new renaissance. So every generation before got us sold something. Some version of, just relax, it's fine, don't ask too many questions. And a lot of them bought it. I don't think we are buying it. Gen Z's been called a lot of things, but naive isn't one of them. We grew up watching institution fumble, watching people sell us dropship garbage, and I think that actually made us sharper, not more cynical. We can smell fake from a mile away, and once you spot that everything's fake, you will be desiring the truth. We're also not exactly known for staying quiet when something's wrong. We'll argue, we'll push back, we'll make noise until something changes. That's kind of our whole thing. So why should we stop at culture, at art, and how we treat our own bodies? I don't think we should. I think the same energy that makes this generation impossible to just push around is exactly the energy a renaissance actually needs. You don't rebuild something by being polite about it, you rebuild it by refusing to accept the watered down version anymore. Excellence, perfection, obsession. Actually trying, actually caring if it's good instead of just alright. Meaning, believing beauty's pointing at something real, at someone real, not just decorating your For You page. And standards, real ones for our art, our culture and ourselves, because we actually believe that there's a source worth reaching towards, and because we're not the generation that's going to settle for less than what we deserve. Picture a whole generation that actually goes and stands in front of real art instead of just scrolling past the thumbnail. That treats their body like it's worth something because it was made by someone who doesn't just make junk. That says beautiful and means it, and actually defends it when someone rolls their eyes. that doesn't ask for the culture to change and wait around, that just goes and does it himself. So here's what I'm actually asking if you made it this far. Go stand in front of a real piece of art this month. Actually stand there, don't just take photos and leave. Or pick one habit that's about building yourself instead of just coasting. And try thinking about it as an offering instead of just a task on a list. And next time something in you wants to shrug, wants to lower the bar because that's easier, don't. Raise the bar even higher, because you're not just building yourself for yourself, but for God. So just how Michelangelo spent a huge amount of time getting the statue of David exactly right, I think our generation's the one to pick the chisel back up and remember who has handed it to us in the first place.